Today's video is a thrill ride about a marriage and career crisis. Unfortunately, this love account truly threatened Yang, as exposing scandals of officials will backfire on the whistleblower after pressuring Yang. Huang wisely backed off, took off his uniform, got down on his knees, and sincerely apologized, while Yang graciously let it slide. Looking at the undignified Huang, Yang had already won on a moral level. Further action would lower his status, so he released his sister and brother-in-law. Huang was exhausted, yet his sister kept complaining, thinking their family was dragged down by his job. Watching his sister walk away without a glance, and then looking back at the brothers who had stayed up late for her, Huang suddenly felt lost. He didn't know what he had protected and what he had lost, but some things once started, there was no turning back. After the Dongji incident, his wife came to claim the body. The disabled wife didn't understand sadness, and the young daughter didn't grasp the concept. Subtitles. Huang was overcome with a sense of bitterness, and swiftly took out 2 banknotes, asking Lao Mot to give them to the child as a small token of his kindness. Lately, Huang was always like this, either spaced out and out of control, or just anxious. As brothers for years, Lao Mot noticed Huang's oddness but, saying nothing, followed him secretly. Instead, he found Huang was very close to Ji, with political business collusion already underway. Ji needed a hand getting things done, and Huang knew exactly what that meant. But he knew someone like Ji was like toast to the harder they tried to rise, the tighter the bind. Soon it would be a case of you and me and you, like a snake swallowed by another. He needed to think of a way to break free from Q. As Huang descended from the rooftop, he found a solution, and Ji entered the elevator. The elevator stopped at the 23rd floor. Ji quickly hit the down button, but it was as stubborn as the elevator had a temper, dropping abruptly at Crises, and Ji gripped tight in fear. But tragedy struck as Ji fell. Huang felt relieved. The elevator issue was Ji's deputy's doing, who had no desire to be boss. Huang knew this all too well, which is why he formed an alliance with the right-hand man in advance, ready to swap allies when the time came. To be honest, little sis. How about you get yourself together, Pony Owl? Things have gotten pretty grand already, and it's still. And the bros funk in these beats are now just winning out. Those big brothers have always had plans, trust including family to back themselves up. Huang dodged quickly, but still got nicked in the eye. Furious, Huang fired 3 shots, knocking down the right-hand man, then panicked and rushed to stop him from bleeding. But alas, his gun went off, and he ended up shooting his own heart. Talk about high accuracy, Huang collapsed right then and there. He died immediately, and Huang knelt on the ground, crying his heart out. The ending was just too shocking, but he quickly composed himself. People can't be revived, so let Huang do a final favor for his brothers and shoot the second in command. Then he moved Lao Ma's corpse, placing the gun beside him, creating the illusion that Lao Ma had been in a fight with the right-hand man, and they both ended. To make it all seem more believable, Huang wiped the blood off a knife and then started beating Lao Ma's body. Who knew the guy just died? Did he feel anything? I felt bad for Lao Ma from across the screen, and in the end, Huang even grabbed a hose to wash away the footprints left behind. To keep others from noticing, Huang took it upon himself to investigate. He could have labeled this as Lao Ma's brave battle against the mafia, giving Lao Ma a heroic image, but to minimize the impact and avoid unnecessary trouble, he defined it as a private feud between Lao Ma and the gang. Lao Ma was turned into a villain, no honor, no compensation, and the funeral was so low-key only a few brothers showed up. Seeing the sorrow for widow and orphan, the brothers felt heavy-hearted. Huang was at an awards ceremony, promoted 3 ranks for the rape murder case, now chief inspector. The deputy chief finally released a sigh of relief. Being a chief inspector in the shadows isn't easy, but Huang had made it. He got an office, but before celebrating, received a lab report. Blood evidence was severely contaminated. After trying numerous methods, they finally managed to separate usable blood. DNA testing revealed that the culprit was actually Dong. To make matters worse, this daughter was not his own, but a cute girl from his mentally disabled wife. The outcome is unimaginable. What that kid must have gone through. This revelation left Huang stunned and in disbelief. Absurd and ironic. He had staged a grand performance only to find out the random extras. Dongshi was the mastermind behind the curtain. Meanwhile, Lao Ma's supporters secretly visited the right-hand man's men and found he had arranged upstairs filming that night. After seeing Huang kill and then faking the scene on video, they were furious. We considered you a brother. You used your brothers as stepping stones. That's just unacceptable. Meanwhile, Huang was alone researching Mo, but with so much to say, all he could do was remain silent. He stayed until dark before leaving, and that was too much. Huang finally broke down in tears. But just then, the spy in the car drove by, and Huang was shot in the artery. He struggled to get out of the car.